bad news for young Philly. His lawyer and terminally ill kids speak out. What have they said? What has he done? Is he doing diddly stuff? Is he a diddler? Young Philly, what are you doing?
Video was made.
What are you up to?
While Philly was filming, I think, the Philly and Chunk show.
Mason! I know, innit? This is probably a little surprise for you.
We still love Philly, but really disappointed.
Kelly said it left Mason distraught and questioning why Barrientos would make empty promises. I feel like Philly just jumped on a bandwagon and then literally broke my son's heart. Quick little update.
Damn.
So, young Philly. So I looked into it. I've been keeping track. Aside from the story about the kid, here's the other part that's really crazy.
What happened with the kid?
So his trial date for first, just to even like go through with the indictment, is happening in December.
Okay.
Do you know how long it's going to take for him to go through the indictment
Christmas.
and the trial?
Christmas.
2 years.
Also, he's stuck there.
He's going to be stuck. So when I said
I
his life
is
is
in
pretty much
pain.
over as far as his career and everything like that, he's going to be stuck there for the next 2 years. Which, in a way, is kind of fucking crazy if you think about it. Because depending on how accurate or true this thing is, they're essentially taking away 2 years of his life. Like, well, let's say hypothetically none of it is true, okay? Or it's been greatly exaggerated. He's losing 2 years of his career, and even when he is out and he does prove it to be not guilty,
People don't want
he's
to
lost all of his work.
Yeah.
His name is forever stained. He's been surrounded by all the.
It's like Diddy. Even if he, you know, it's not as bad as it is, and you know, whatever the case may be. Nah, you're done. For a lot of people in their mind, is like, nah, you're that guy now. 1,000 bottles of oil, you're him.
This negative
1,000 bottles of baby oil.
press, so all of his mainstream work is dead. Even when he comes back to YouTube, is there any guarantee that anyone's going to follow this trial in Australia? So even that shit, it's a fucked up thing to think about. But despite him not being found guilty, there's a high possibility that he may never come back to the online world. Mm-hmm. And that's if he's found not guilty, which is the best case scenario.
Yeah.
So these are the details of the night in question, okay?
Not looking
the 20-year-old
good.
university student attended the VIP at Bar One nightclub on the Quay at Sorrento Beach in northern Perth. This is the victim in question.
Okay.
Western Australia, according to court documents, they revealed that the young woman who was with a friend who had 12 drinks, including shots of tequila, was more intoxicated than she was. Following the party, a young woman is believed to have accompanied young Philly to a hotel room where the alleged took place. Detectives allege he heard a woman in her 20s in a hotel room in the early hours of the next day. Perth Magistrate Court documents reveal that the young woman rang her friend immediately afterwards at 5:31 a.m. He
Oh,
said
Jesus Christ. What's he doing?
that prosecutors had photographs which no ordinary person could consent in those circumstances. Those photos are indicative of a number of protracted and what we say is effectively stitched across. Well, across her body is a history of what we say is violent acts. We say those photos and what is alleged to it is effectively beyond the pale, beyond the norm of what could be considered or entertained to be a consensual act. Now,
So they're saying that they're seeing shit that is like, nah, this is not it. This can't be consensual. Well, let us see. Let us know. What's going on?
when I hear words like that, that tells me that
What did he
she's
do?
got like black and blue bruises all over her body. That's the way they're talking. That's what they're making it sound like. That could be not true.
True.
But just based off the
But it's
words,
like
if
cuts
I
or-
come to find out she just got a bruise on her neck and just I'm not going to say much. But if there's actually bruises in other places and they're black and
Yeah.
blue, that's going to look very different.
They're talking like she fought back.
Yeah. Now, in his defense, I'm gonna try to be fair. Mr. Rafferty, which is young Philly's lawyer, told the court that while he was not saying the police had a weak case against his client, that when the alleged victim rang her friend immediately after these things are said to have occurred, no complaint of a sexual nature during the course of that telephone conversation was made. None.
Okay.
Something was referred to later on in the day. He also said issues of intoxication would be significant at young Philly's trial. In the young woman's statement, she says, during the night I had a few drinks and I still was aware of my surroundings, Mr. Rafferty said. He then referred to the statement of the woman's friend who had consumed 12 drinks, including tequila, but reckoned the young woman was drunker than her. I think when you start talking about how much alcohol she had and all this stuff, this might
get
try
sticky.
to give you some plausible deniability. But in this day and age, that's not going to be an out.
It's not going to be an out.
No.
But a lawyer is definitely going to try to discredit that person.
Oh, definitely.
But then it's his
Ability
job.
Definitely.
to whatever, to remember the what happened. To,
Yeah.
He's gonna try to fuck up her.
He's going to try push for the angle of he said, she said, and, you know, it's his word over mine, or, you know, that angle. She was too drunk. How could she, you know, that's the angle.
Speech. He's gonna try to fuck up her memory about what happened, and he's gonna try to
Make her trip
validate
and make her fuck up.
whatever she
Yeah,
said.
invalidate.
Yeah, I mean that's his job. So that's his job as a defense lawyer. Young Philly promised to support my terminally ill son in a
Philly shame. Young Philly promised to support my terminally ill son, 12, in poignant video. Then rapper told him to shut up and ghosted us. What?
poignant video. Then the rapper told him to shut up and ghosted him.
Oh,
So
wow. Brother,
the
why would
YouTuber
you
told
do
Mason
that?
Greaves 12 he was there to support him and challenge him to a game of Fortnite in a video. So here are the receipts, so nobody thinks anything's being made up.
Mason, I know, innit? This is probably a little surprise for you, but I just wanted to say I hope you're well. Also, thank you for watching my videos. I wish you a speedy recovery, my guy. Tough times never last. God willing, you're going to be okay sooner rather than later. Yeah, and I just wanted to give you my support and tell you that I love you and I'm here for you. And yeah, I hope all is well, my guy.
What? And then he tells him, shut up.
Yeah, unfortunate what's happening with you, but like I say, my brother, try to stay positive the best you can. And when you're up for it, let me know and I'll whoop your ass at Fortnite.
So that was the video, and this is Mason's reaction. But I will continue the story while this is playing. So, how good was that? Mason was made up.
He was excited.
Basically, the kid's terminally ill, so she's trying to find a kidney for him. So I'm pretty sure she's been posting about this. She's been trying to get treatment for the child for quite some time. And then she talked about how Philly treated her kid. A representative from JD Sports then got in touch with Kelly, the mother, and asked to send out some clothes for the youngster. Weeks later, they revealed they had organized a surprise Fortnite-loving Mason and asked Kelly to film his reaction. To Mason's delight, young Philly, real name Andreas Felipe Valencia Barrientos, I know
God damn.
this motherfucker uses that to get women, had recorded a special message. How do you know exactly what I mean?
He's actually right, bro. I bet you he does use that to get bitches. 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's
Young
no
Philly
doubt.
Or Andres Felipe Valencia Barrientos.
100%, brother.
Yeah, like that.
But things took a turn when Mason, who has followed the influencer for years, tried to reach out to him. Kelly said when Mason attempted to respond to Barrientos on social media, he was cruelly ignored or shut down by one of his people. She had
Evil.
came up to one day that Philly was live on TikTok, and Mason then said hello to him via the chat, but he was ignored, and people told him to shut up through Twitch. Mason went and got a Twitch account, and he started trying to talk to Philly and said, "Hi, it's Mason. You sent me this video." Then he got abuse from his moderators.
Damn.
Then a
That's
couple days
sad.
later, Philly was back on Twitch playing games with people. So Mason went again and said something like, "Hi, it's Mason. Do you remember my kidney appeal?" And young Philly just said right in the middle of the live stream, "Mason, just shut up."
He forgot. He forgot who Mason was already.
And I was with Mason, and I just thought, how dare he? Kelly said it left Mason distraught and
that's sad.
questioning why Barrientos would make empty promises. I feel
Yeah.
like Philly just jumped on a bandwagon and then literally broke my son's heart. I don't think this has anything to do with allegations per se.
Sad.
This is not
It's a
related to that.
sadness.
But I think this goes to speak to the credibility of the people who are saying, like, he's just a really bad person behind the scenes. To me, personally, if you're going to film anything and send it to a terminally ill child making any promises, bitch, you better follow through. Not because the PR nightmare, but it's just like, how low do you have to be to take time out of your day to film this video, make promises to somebody who doesn't have much time, and then ignore them? Like,
It's like kind of a lame
I don't understand that, especially a child.
thing
Like,
to do.
you go there, you light up their day, you're going to tell them about all the wonderful things, and then you just disappear. I
Yeah.
don't know, man. It's just fascinating to me because I've heard stories like this from other content creators where there's a terminally ill child, they promise this, they promise that, and they don't follow through. And it's not like what they're being asked to follow through on is difficult. It's not like they're being told, hey, I'll take you on a trip, for 4 or 5 days, whatever. It's just from the luxury of your home, play a game of Fortnite. That's like 40 minutes of your day, at most. It's like, oh, go there and sign a basketball in your city. Like, just go and fucking do it if you promised it. Or just don't make the promise at all.
Yeah.
I just can't understand it. But it speaks to the fact that for some people, as they get bigger, They just be yapping and making all kinds of promises. But they
Yeah,
don't
that's
actually
why
really
it
care
is.
about
It's
the
all
people.
for the clout and
They
all of
send all
that.
these messages that
It's all for
sound
the
good. They
clout.
have beautiful words, but when you really peer behind the curtain, they just have very foul intentions or very
They're just bastards.
self-centered.
And you don't really have to peer behind the curtain. You just hear it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
You just
for
hear
the
it.
fan base, they didn't know about a lot of this stuff,
They don't.
right? They didn't know because they don't know how he is when you see him in person.
There's a lot of people, the comics, actors, whatever. We know things,
Yeah.
and then the public don't.
Yeah.
Mm.
It goes to speak also to the kind of relationships you foster. Remember what I said? When you have a problem, all the people you fucking f***ed over on the way up,
Oh yeah, they're gonna.
they gonna remember.
Yeah, 100%.
They gonna remember.
They're gonna come at you.
Yup. Now, some people are going to use this to try to say, oh, see, he must be guilty of this stuff. It's not that. It just goes to show, though, that you don't know these people. So no matter how much you thought
Yeah.
this person was a good person or they would never, oh, I'm shocked. What the reality was, you didn't even know he was a horrible person, period. Who knows
Yeah.
if he did that stuff and diddled those people? I don't know. You don't know either. But this whole public perception that
Man said diddled though. I did catch that.
a lot of people had of him just being a fun-loving, very sweetheart person, it's like,
You don't know.
yeah.
You don't know. It doesn't
You
matter how
simply
much
don't know them.
content you consume from these people. You don't know them.
No.
Yeah.
You think you know them.
Don't know shit.
Don't. You know the facade that they are showing you on cameras.
That's right. What's happened there?
But if he's gonna have to build that shit from the ground up, he's gonna have to. The PR that he's gonna have to do in order to regain a bit of what he had, the work is astonishing. Like it's for him to work back and to make all these. First, he has to make all these interviews about how he was and what happened, and if he is found not guilty.
Yeah.
The
So we're talking about a best case scenario on homie's behalf is like, oh, it's not looking good, bruv.
and then after that, he has to show other people.
See, why they gotta be like this, man? You got fame and now you're doing shows and all that. You still got to assault people though. Females, oh my god.
That he's changed, which is going to be humongous because everybody's saying the same thing, saying that how bad he is, we're gonna have to show. You're gonna have to show that he's not the same person, which is impossible.
Yeah.
It's impossible.
Yeah,
It's
people are
impossible
like,
to do because right
made up
now
their mind.
he's shown as a narcissistic person.
yeah,
Those people are known to manipulate. And what does it tell me that you're not even doing that right now? That you're not playing the puppet master of your image. So, yeah, it's going to be super tough.
Yeah.
Almost impossible for him to do that.
I mean, listen, when you're coming back from any kind of scandal, the most important thing you could have on your side is relationships. And he unfortunately doesn't seem to have them, right? No one's coming to his defense. No one's saying anything in his
yeah.
favor.
And
No
that, and
one's speaking for his-
that's another thing that we spoke about in the other video about young Philly and his situation is that you haven't seen like his homies come to his defense. That's the same with the Diddy thing. Diddy was prominent, he was well known, loads of celebrities went to his parties and all of that. You ain't seeing celebrities coming out and saying, you know, in massive droves, they're coming out saying, no, this is Diddy. You're not seeing that. This is what makes it suspicious to me in my mind. I'm like, what the fuck? You're not coming out to defend your homie. No, you used to be at his parties. Same as Philly and Chunks and his crew there, or loads of the people that, you know, they're public figures. Why aren't they coming out to defend homie? This makes it suspicious, in my opinion.
character, not a single person. So when you see that, it's like, how do you come back from that if on the way trying to get back up, everybody that you shat on the way down does not want to help you? They don't give a fuck. In fact, they want to avoid you at all costs. You need those people.
Exactly.
You're not going to have access to them. So that's going to be the thing that he has to overcome that I don't think he'll be able to.
Remember the...
And look at Johnny Depp.
Yeah, that's
Johnny
exactly
Depp,
where I was going.
found not guilty, okay? He still hasn't really come back. Everyone is saying he's going to do the next Pirates
bit
of the
rough.
Caribbean, all this.
He
Johnny
still
Depp-
hasn't... The momentum is
It's
not
a bit
there.
rough.
Now, to be fair, in his defense,
Even though
maybe
he's
he doesn't
legit.
want to come back. Maybe the trauma that he's been inflicted.
I think with Johnny Depp's a bit different. Homie knows he won. He knows. I think the majority of people were with him, especially in the lies that she was saying. And then when Johnny Depp does do a movie, 100% it will be a smash hit. There's no doubt, because it's Johnny's first movie since this thing. I think. I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't know the guy's career so well.
Made enough money. He doesn't need to come back if he don't
But
want
there was
to.
people, that was one sponsor that was behind him, and that was Dior Sauvage, the perfume.
Yeah.
You know, it's not just necessarily the same thing as as a young Philly. Whereas when he was coming down, there was people that he did not shat on. That was like,
a lot of people stood up for John. He said he would never.
Exactly. Yeah. So that's where you have your difference. There.
And that's what I'm saying.
There's a lot of people that are rooting for you.
People stood up
versus him. Everybody's saying nobody wants to touch that with a 10-foot pole.
No. So I wanted to read some couple of details that apparently were in the news article I read that I think are at least worth looking at. So let's take a look here. Are you mean to people behind the scenes?
It depends what they did to me.
It's like 2 different videos. I don't know what's going on here. They've edited 2 different videos.
Not fair.
I'm not gonna.
Bear with me a second.
I've
Sorry, fathers. Oh, fatherly fathers, I'm sorry. Extremely sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry I left you. No, I'm joking.
Yeah, I fucked up a few people
Yeah.
here and there, but they did something to me. You understand
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Oh
I mean,
my
generally, if I
god.
meet fans or stuff
That's
like
like
that,
the
everything's
second
very
time I've
cordial.
hit it
What's up,
hard.
babe? Take a picture, cool. And I'm like, I'll chat with people sometimes. Sometimes I'm in a hurry. But no, generally I'm pretty good with people. As far as like being mean to people, I'm quiet in person. In person, I don't really talk much. I just be in my corner chilling. When I'm out and about, even when I go out dancing, I don't really take up space. I find a corner, I just dance over there. Like, that's how I like to be. And so sometimes people see that and they're like, oh, Abba's
Man said when he goes out dancing. Crazy.
being snotty or whatever. It's like, no,
Bougie.
bougie, you know? I mean,
I was the bougie one.
I have like some levels of like high level bouginess, which is like I just stay in the corner and chill. But I'm never like, oh, I'm in the ugly corner.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't choose like the nice spot in the
Man
club
said,
to be
yeah.
a bougie person. I'm in the ugly corner near the bathroom.
I can attest.
You know, I can smell people.
It is that I can attest.
You know what I mean?
Why would you?
It's hard to be bougie over there, so I balance it out.
Because it humbles you,
Yeah, I'm accessible.
but it's smelly.
My attitude. But no, I'm generally very cool. People come up to me like, "What's up?" Whatever it is. And I also just don't make promises I'm not going to keep. I don't promise to go help out a charity that I don't want to follow through and do it properly. I do have some organizations I help with, but those are ones I'm actually properly invested in and I'm going to follow through on. So it's just one of them ones where I'm not too scared of like, oh, Abba behind the scenes, because how I am in front of the camera is how I am behind. Not that I necessarily talk as much, but if you get me in a specific conversation, I'll talk just like this. But people who go on camera and have these front-facing personalities that are completely different than how they are behind closed doors, those are the ones who have something to fear and lose. Like,
They're the
what's worst
shitters.
thing that person-
We call them the
what's worst thing
shitters.
you wanna say about you? Preach looks unfriendly, but you look unfriendly on camera. Yeah. What else?
Yeah, I do.
Everything they say behind, like everything that
Preach
people
alone.
say about you, is like stuff they said about you online.
What do you mean?
Like, oh, this nigga, you know. But people been saying that to you your whole life.
So what? That I'm like sassy?
Yes.
I don't know what they're talking about.
He's sassy as fuck.
I got what they say? What they say?
Nigga, don't kill me.
No, what they say?
I don't know.
Don't say it. What they say?
I don't know.
What they say?
Oh my god.
What they say?
Having a little anxiety attack.
What they say?
Literally, I feel like, yo, I just realized this. The UK has 0 commentary channels. There's literally not a single YouTuber in the UK that I know that's like real.
I'm invisible. I'm here, guys. Look, I'm right here. I'm right here. I'm invisible. Yeah.
Relatively big. That top. And I actually noticed about most issues, even like the, what's it f***ing called? The shits and geeks situation. Nobody over there really talks about that.
What, mate? They don't want.
What happened? Stop the cap. Innit? They cap him. But what happened with the shits and gigs? What happened there? They were decent for a time. I don't really watch them. But what happened with their thing?
Get involved.
I'm not involved in that.
I think that
I mean, he's not lying.
UK doesn't really have commentary stuff like that. Most of their creators just do either comedy related stuff or football, gaming things, right? None of it is ever political. None of it's like no.
Bitch, I'm right here. Look at me. Bitch.
For some
I'm joking. I like you guys. You're good.
reason,
But I'm
I
here.
haven't seen
And
a
there's others.
single UK person really talk about this shit. In fact, I have seen UK people contacting me saying like, "Oh, I'm glad somebody talking about this."
Yeah. Where the UK people?
Oh, okay.
Where the UK commentators?
I don't know about that.
I said what I said with a bag of chips.
Listen, just because I know one guy who goes, "Hey, blood," you know,
We're the ones we are the ones they like looking at.
just because we say "bruv" a couple times a
Hey,
day.
you know what, Mike? Is what it is. Well, thank you very much for following UK's best commentary channel. You can always
This guy. This is it right here. You're tuned in. We're broadcasting live. But yeah, we're right here. Tune in, hit the subscribe button. Maybe even a like. We don't know. But we're right here. Tuned in. And this is definitely bad news for fucking Philly. It speaks on his character and it's not looking good, bruv.